Hey everyone, my name is Megan Ibanez, and I'm one of the therapists here at Georgetown Child and Family Counseling. And today I wanted to talk with you about self-care during times of crisis. So why in the world, now of all times during this COVID-19 pandemic, would I choose to bring you information about self-care? Well, one thing's for sure is there's a lot of uncertainties, there's a lot of anxieties and worries and fears. There's a lot that we don't know, and there's a lot that we don't have control over. But now, especially during this very unique time in our history, it's important to know that self-care is still a priority. And in my practice, I like to think of self-care from a holistic perspective. And so that looks like our physical self, our mental and emotional self, our social self, and our spiritual self. And when we take all of those parts individually and we combine them, we can see that we have a collective way of looking at how we care for ourselves. So it's not just one way of always doing something, but it might be different things we do each day that over time help us to better care for ourselves and hopefully stay well. So let's start with our physical well-being. What does it mean to take good care of my physical self? And I think you know the answer to this question, but still, I'll review it for you just in case. So taking care of your physical body, especially right now, means good quality sleep, getting enough sleep and not sleeping too much or not enough. It means eating healthy and nutritious food as much as you can in appropriate portions. And we're at home all day, it's easy to graze on food all day and then not realize that maybe we've consumed more or maybe we've consumed less than we typically would in a normal day. And so having a set time where we're going to eat each of our meals or have snacks available will still help us to know that we're eating nutritious food and that we're fueling our bodies throughout the day. And the next part is staying hydrated. It's so important, especially when we sit around a lot more when we're working from home, to make sure that we're drinking enough water. We definitely don't want to get dehydrated because that's going to affect our focus and our memory and how good that we feel. And we want to make sure that we're getting enough water. And then, of course, our physical exercise. There's some really unique ways out there right now to try to get that physical exercise. And one of the unique ways I like to share is something that I'm currently doing. I had a friend group invite me to a Zoom workout. And so every day we get together around the same time that works in our schedule and we work out together to try to hold each other accountable. And not only does it help my physical well-being, but it also is a great way to care for all of the other parts of my well-being as well. To see someone else doing the same thing and to get a little bit of social interaction makes a huge difference, and it's one of my favorite things to look forward to through the whole day. And I encourage you to get outside during this beautiful weather and take some time to walk around your neighborhood. Just get outdoors and breathe some fresh air. It'll do you a world of good. And get your body moving because your body needs that exercise and it needs to expel some of that energy. And it's a great way for you to kind of take some of those internalized emotions and be able to express them out through a form of exercise. And a lot of us know that exercise helps to increase our dopamine and serotonin levels, and it makes us feel good. And it can certainly go a long way for our mental and emotional health as well. The next part is talking about our emotional and mental well-being. And so what does this look like? Well, first, I think it's important to acknowledge that we are going through something in our history and our lifetimes that we've never experienced before. This global pandemic is changing the way that we do things, and we're going to have lots of different kinds of emotions related to that. And I want to relay this message to you, that whatever you're feeling or experiencing, it is okay. We've never been through this before. This is a first experience for us. And so we aren't going to know what to do. We aren't going to know how to feel. And a lot of us honestly are grieving the way that our lives were before this happened already. And so take some time to acknowledge and identify how you're feeling, what's coming up for you, how you might be trying to numb your emotions, how you might be trying to distract away from having to acknowledge what we're really feeling. I know I've had to do this for myself, and it's not fun and it's not pleasant, but it definitely makes a big difference. When we can let our emotions be present for us and we can find a way to express them, whether that's talking it out with a friend or it's writing it out in a journal, All of these ways are going to help you to stop from internalizing it and pushing it down and suppressing it, and instead allow it to move freely the way that emotions are supposed to be. Because emotions are meant to be fluid. They're not meant to stay stuck. And so when we find creative ways and we find avenues for making sure that we can express our feelings, it does usually help to improve our mood. And maybe not in the moment that we're experiencing them, but certainly in the days after. It might also look like setting stronger boundaries for yourself. Now that we're all working from home and we're having to shelter in place, and if you're a parent, you're also trying to make sure that your kids are doing their schoolwork during the day while you're trying to balance working from home, maybe having a spouse working from home, it can be a lot. And so having boundaries for yourself about when am I working and when am I not? What time are we waking up? What time are we going to bed? Having a basic routine and structure for the way that your day is going to go is going to help you balance those things out. And along with that, that also looks like lowering your expectations. Again, we've never been here before. This is a first experience for all of us, and we're going to have to figure it out as we go along, and that is okay. So don't expect for your kids to do 7 hours of schoolwork a day. I know I'm certainly not. And that is okay for now. We're figuring it out as we go along. I'm not a teacher, and I don't know the first thing about trying to teach my kids how to do all of their schoolwork. And I'm relying heavily on the resources I'm getting from their school to help me help them to the best of my ability. But can I work from home, typing out emails and texting back and forth with my friends, and also trying to take care of myself and my kids and make sure my house is clean? We can't do all the things, and that is okay. So manage your expectations. Find out what's going to work for you, find out what's not going to work for you, and stick to that. No matter how hard it can be to say, I'm done with work for the day, and you ignore those emails until tomorrow, or you put your phone down and you don't look at texts anymore because you're taking a little mental break, all of those things are okay. I would also add that finding an activity that you really enjoy or that you find relaxing is especially important right now. And so doing those things, now that we have maybe a little bit more time on our hands, is an opportunity for us to do those things that we enjoy, that we maybe put off and said we didn't have time for. Maybe it's spending more time playing games with our kids. Maybe it's spending some more time outside in the garden. Whatever that looks like for you, however you find joy and relaxation, make sure that you include that in a part of your day or a part of your weekly routine. And next we're going to talk about our social well-being. That's definitely going to look different than it did just a few weeks ago. We can't just get together with friends in person without practicing that social distancing that's very necessary right now. And so what do? Well, one of the things that I encourage you to do is to make sure that you're calling people, that you're talking with someone. And especially if you live alone and you don't have a lot of support, seeking out that support is still very possible. And know that most people want to hear from you. Most people want to know how you're doing. And you reach out or they reach out, and it makes a big difference in our social connectedness over time. And it reminds us that we're all in this together. And so joining a book club online is one idea that I have for a way to be social. FaceTiming your family members or doing a Zoom with some friends. All of those are ways for you to stay socially connected, to get the eye contact and the nonverbal cues and all those things that we might miss. And although we can't be physically in the same room as those people, getting to have contact with them and see their smiling faces and maybe share a laugh with them, have coffee with them virtually, it's going to make a big difference. And I really highly encourage you to do that. I don't know about you, but I spend a lot more time outside, especially with this beautiful weather. And I've also noticed my neighbors doing a lot of the same things. And I'm so lucky to be in a neighborhood where we like to get out and talk with each other, even if we have to yell across the street. And so talk with your neighbors, wave hello, maybe strike up a conversation, and just make sure that you're paying attention and you're respecting other people's boundaries by keeping that 6-foot social distancing. But it can make a huge impact on your social well-being to have that person-to-person contact, because it is a part of our very basic needs to be social. And we can find outlets for still providing those needs for ourselves while also practicing safety. And the last part I want to go over with you is the spiritual well-being. And regardless of what your spiritual or religious beliefs are, we can all participate in this as well. Because we are all connected. And finding ways to remind ourselves of our connectedness, both to ourselves and each other and to the world, happen in these different kinds of ways. So whether you take time to slow down and pray, meditate, step outside into nature to see the beauty in the world, creating a gratitude journal, all of these things help us in our spiritual well-being, to remind us to slow down, to take note of the things around us, to be grateful for the beauty that still exists in this world despite our circumstances, and to refresh that part of ourselves that can be really difficult to replenish at times, especially in times of stress. If any of these things sound overwhelming, inconvenient, or even impossible for you to do right now, I want you to know that that's okay. We all need extra support during this time. And if you find yourself lonely or continually overwhelmed and anxious and unable to do your regular daily routine, it's okay to reach out for support. And here at Georgetown Child and Family Counseling, all of the therapists are able to provide telehealth sessions. And isn't it amazing that we live in a world where we can still have access to each other, even if we can't be in the physically same place as each other? And so if you need to reach out, please feel free to check out our webpage, to give us a call, and we'd be happy to find a way to get you connected with one of us. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and know this: you matter, you are valuable, and you deserve to take care of yourself so that then you can better take care of others. I wish you all the best, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. Thank you.